Hey y'all. I didn't realize I wasn't in the studio already. Anyway, hey everybody. Welcome back to the Brenda Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brenda Yvonne. Here on my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows. Y'all, we gotta talk about this season 6 of Love is Blind, episodes 7 through 9. Y'all, this background is all wrong. Hold on. Why is Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper back here? Oh no. Okay, let me fix this. Mm-mm. That is not right. Hmm. All right. Yeah, we'll just do a blur background. Yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, y'all, I'll just give some time for everybody to come in the room. Oh, hold on. All right. I have a delivery coming, y'all. I had to get a new Apple Watch band. Anyway, let's get into this live review. So we are not on here all night long. Okay. If you are in the chat, make sure you say hello or say what's up. Okay. I'll give everybody a little bit of time to get on. Maybe by the time the guy gets here with my watch band, then people will be on. Anyway, y'all, let's do some housekeeping before we get into it. Please do not hesitate to hit that thumbs up button. Also, subscribe to the channel. Share the video where you like to share your content. And comment down below. Get in this chat, y'all. I want to see y'all in the chat. I want to see y'all say what's up. Okay. Now, I know the first 6 episodes, we did first 3. We did a review. Then we did 4 through 6. We did a review. And now we are just going to do a live review for 7 through 9 because I did not feel like y'all breaking up all those episodes into small reviews. Like, that took so long. Like, y'all don't even know how late I stayed up. What was that, Sunday night when I did those reviews? And I had, yeah, it was too much. It was way too much. So that's why we were doing it like this time, just to save time. Okay, first of all, what did y'all think of episodes 7 through 9? I thought they were pretty good. I thought we were gonna see everybody meet up, but I guess that's next week. Okay, so let's go on and get into the review though. Okay, whoever they about to bring my package. So episode basically left off or picked up where they left off with Jimmy and Chelsea still arguing and still trying to make up. I said, we left for a week and Chelsea is still mad. I said, Chelsea, I'm gonna need you to wrap it up. I'm gonna need you to get over it, girl. Like, Chelsea's giving very much insecure. Oh, we got somebody to chat. Oh, hey, Shayna. Shayna always comes through. Shayna always shows love. Make sure y'all are subscribed and checking out Shayna's channel. Okay. She gives great reviews. She did some great were they shorts of Love is Blind? I was laughing at that the other night. So make sure y'all are supporting our girl over here. But yeah, we just got started, Shayna, because girl, I was a little bit late. Anyway, so like I said, everybody's still on the honeymoon. Ciao. Oh, my nice. Anyway, somebody supposed to be bringing me a package, so I'm waiting on them to do that. Okay, I think they just dropped it off. So yeah, like I said, we picked up where we left off on the honeymoon. Chelsea is still mad at Jimmy. Jimmy apologized. He said AD didn't mean nothing to him, and he's good. And he apologized. She said she loved him too, and they all good and all that. Yeah, let me get this package, y'all. Hold on a second. Thank you. You too. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, so they made up. They good. All right, everybody's still on the honeymoon. We see Johnny and Amy. They're just doing some horseback riding. Actually, we're not going to go scene by scene of each episode because that's going to be too much. We'll just talk about each couple. So let's talk about Johnny and Amy first. Okay. So Johnny and Amy, like I said, they were doing the horseback riding. Then they stopped somewhere and they were talking, and they were just talking about how like everything's so perfect with them, everything is so good, they get along so well. And so Johnny is like basically anxious to see what will happen if they got in a fight. Amy's kind of scared that everything is just too perfect right now, so she's really concerned about that. And they want to know how their first fight is going to be. And Johnny's like, I feel bad to even say it, but I really want to know like how are we going to be when we have our first fight. Yeah, everything is going to go for them. They think like, maybe they will have it in the pods. They're the only couple I really see it for. And based on the previews, it's looking like we only going to get two couples, y'all. Looks like we only going to get AD and Clay and Johnny and Amy. That's who it's looking like it's going to end up with. Because we know Brittany and Kenneth not making it, and we're going to get to them. And I don't think Chelsea and Jimmy going to make it. And Jeremy and Sarah Ann definitely not about to make it. We got to get to them as well. Shayna, let me know in the chat what you think about the couples though. Anyway, so Johnny and Amy, we also see them the last night of the honeymoon. They were in the pool talking about how, he's asking her like, what are the things I do to get on your nerves? And he was like doing the whole guess what chicken butt thing. And then she's like, okay, that's what you do, that's getting on my nerves. So then before that, we did see all the couples come together like one last time on the beach for like a little picnic or something. I don't know. They was drinking and having taquitos. Side note, their vacation made me miss the DR so much. I went to Punta Cana for my 30th birthday, and I was like, man, I need to go back there. But when they were there, Johnny was talking to, was it Laura? And Laura was saying how, how they're so cute and they're like the perfect couple. And then she's asking him about kids, and then he was saying like, yeah, Amy, she not on birth control, so I don't know what we're gonna do. And I guess they haven't really had sex because Johnny is now trying to have a slip up. He said, you won't be putting a baby on him today. Johnny is avoiding a baby at any means possible. And I was like, well, Johnny, like, you can't wear a condom, like you can't do pull out, like what's going on, Johnny? So he was like, yeah, I don't know. So Laura was like, well, some women, they just can't wear they just can't use birth control for whatever reason. Like, that's what it is. And then he was like, yeah, I just thought every woman was on birth control. Like, I just thought that's what it was. And I'm like, everybody ain't on birth control, Johnny, first of all. Okay. Now we did see Jeremy speaking with Amy, and Jeremy was saying how like energetic Johnny is and how amazing he is and how awesome he is and all that good stuff. And so Jeremy was talking about the time in the pods, and Amy was saying like, how her and Johnny are good, and she's talking about, Laura and Jeremy. And then Jeremy, he looked and turned back, and I don't know if it was a funny editing or what happened, but then he started spilling his guts to Amy, talking about, yeah, I do want to meet Sarah Ann now because I felt really bad because she was asking me all these questions of what she could have done better and stuff. So I do want to like meet with her and make sure everything is good and all that. And then he was like, not to do nothing weird, just need to meet with her. And then she's like, okay. And then the way she was looking, I was like, Amy finna run tell that. And then she was like, this, like, she gonna keep it zip. No, Amy is finna run tell that. And I don't know, Jeremy, why was you telling Amy all your business like that? Like, you played that all wrong, sir. All wrong. Oh, Shani, you said you skip. You be skipping parts. That's funny. Let me put my glasses on. I know I would know better. Oh, you skipped the parts, Amy, and what's his name, girls, Amy and Johnny. But yeah, they boring. They not giving nothing, so I don't blame you. Let me make this where I can see. So anyway, then when we get back from the DR, we see Amy and Johnny. I think they're in a shared apartment, and they're just talking about what they want to do. Johnny wants to work hard so he can play hard later. He wants to save up money. He's not interested in having any kids right now. Amy said at least 5 years for her, but she like, if they got pregnant, she good. She thinks they would both make good parents. He was like, the thing is, like, you are not on birth control. Like, we can't, anything, one little thing happen, a slip up, and then we got to take care of this person. He was sharing before he wants to travel with just the two of them, and he don't want no babies. Okay. And she was like, well, you could get a vasectomy. And he's like, yeah, I get it. Like, it's not just on me. And my thing is Johnny completely not having sex with Amy because he think he gonna get her pregnant? Like, is that what we doing, Johnny? Really? Anyway, um, we also see Johnny and Amy do some salsa dancing or some tango dancing or something. I don't know. One thing that Amy did share with Johnny, and I can't remember if they were, I want to say they were in the pool at the DR still. She was sharing with him that she's worried because her family has a really big influence on her, and she takes their opinion very, very seriously. And in the past, especially her first relationship, she made a big mistake of sharing too much with her family, and not having good boundaries with them, and then they would try to like insert themselves in her relationship. So she wants to work on holding better boundaries in that way. Oh no, Amy girl. So Amy must be, I'm assuming that Amy is very, very, very close with her family based on everything she has told us. I think that's it with them. Yeah, it's giving boring. Anyway, they're gonna probably make it, so that's why they're boring. Let's talk about Kenneth and Brittany, okay? Because this was interesting to me. Now, on the honeymoon, Kenneth and Brittany are sitting. They said they showed a lot of like dead space in episode 7 to me, of people just sitting there staring at each other, and I was like, "What is this?" Like, I don't want to sit there and watch AD slurping up soup. I don't want to sit there, or Clay. I'm sorry, Clay was slurping up the soup. Watching AD just stare at him, looking disgusted. I don't want to sit here and watch Kenneth and Brittany just stare at each other in the water in the boat. Like, let's have some interaction. Like, they on vacation, not me. Like, let's make it happen. Like, I was irritated with that. I feel like Netflix was just wasting time, all that dead space, watching them stare at each other. That was irritating to me. Anyway, so drinking some tea, y'all. So Kenneth and Brittany. Shayna, let me know if you see if you saw it for Kenneth and Brittany, because I never really saw it for Kenneth and Brittany from the beginning. To be honest, I was like, I don't know, like, I don't really know. I was like, but yeah, let me see what Shayna said. Shayna said Kenneth really surprised her. Oh, when he hollered black love with AD and Clay, they should have known. Yep. Yep. And then when they was on that honeymoon, I mean not the honeymoon, when they were at the DR and Clay and AD were kissing and stuff, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." Is that the I think that's where you talking about? Yeah, we already knew. He said he want to hit some black love. He ain't he ain't doing other stuff. And I ain't mad at it, Kenneth. Get you some black love, okay? So, like I said, Brittany and Kenneth are just staring at each other on the boat. She said something about, "I'm happy you got to be on the water or see the water." And I was like, "She's trying to insinuate like he ain't never been nowhere." I didn't understand that, but he said he has seen dolphins in the Bahamas, so I didn't know what she said that for. So they was just sitting at each other staring. She trying to make small talk, and she said, "I'm just so happy right now," and he was just like, "Yep, yep." And then they saw the dolphin place, and I was like, "I wonder if that's the same dolphin place I went to," because when I went to Punta Cana, that's where I got to kiss the dolphins, play with the dolphins, and it looked very similar. So anyway, but they probably got thousands of those things anyway. So then that was the only thing that excited him was them dolphins. She's like, "Oh, we need all the dolphins." He told me he had a dolphin keychain and all this. And the dolphin's name was Kenneth. I was like, "Oh, he finally talking now that we talking about these dolphins." I was like, "Geesh." So anyway, then they get on. I guess they were laying at the other part of the boat, and they were talking. And so she was touching on his leg, and she's like, "Are you okay with how much physical touch I give you and all that stuff?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I like that you do that. I like how affectionate you are." And then he was like, "Do you feel like I'm smothering you sometimes? Like, am I too affectionate with you?" And so she was like, "No, like it's like you could be doing more, really." And then he was like, "Really?" And then he was like, "Yeah, I'm really surprised to hear that. Like, I never heard that from people before." So Brittany is like, "Touch me, tease me," and Kenneth ain't giving what needs to be given. And so then they were trying to cuddle. It just looked so awkward, them laying there. And then she was like, "Oh, do you feel like that's like makes you feel better, me telling you that?" And she was like, "No, just give me some insight," but it didn't really do nothing for me. He was like, "But it's good to know." Kenneth can't be bothered by Brittany. He cannot be bothered, okay? When they were all on the beach with the couples. I don't think we didn't really see them talk to too many other people like we did the other couples. I'm sure they did, but they didn't show it. Only thing we saw him get excited when Clay and AD kissed. That's really the only thing we saw. Let me get to the comments before we go to after the honeymoon. Okay, so Miss Shayna McD said, her acting like he's never been on a boat before and saying he identified as a black sent me over the edge. LOL. Yes. Sorry about that, y'all. I don't know why the live just disappeared or what happened. Anyway, let me plug this laptop in before it dies though. So yeah, she was like, oh, he identifies as a black man. Everybody like, girl, he is a black man. And then she says she identifies as a white woman. And I'm like, girl, because you're white. Okay, it's no identifying, it's what it is, girl. It's what exactly that it is. Okay. So then, like I said, they got back from the DR. And okay, they got back from the DR, and they had to unpack and stuff. They finally got to get their phones. Okay, Kenneth was all on his phone. He was happy to use his phone. He said he got a lot of emails to catch up with on. He had a presentation coming up. He is a middle school principal. Now let me get on that because we didn't do a live for the first 6 episodes. I don't understand. Now, whoever lives in North Carolina, like, let me know how the education system is, because y'all know I'm a teacher and I'm 35. I'll be 36 in April. And I'm barely trying to go get my admin credential to even be a principal. Now granted, I started teaching late in life. Like, I didn't go straight from college to teaching, but I'm like, what kind of truck was Kenneth on that he went straight to principal? Like, that's very unheard of. Like, for him to be 25 as a principal, like, I'm like, where do they do that at? They not doing it here in California. Like, realistically, and I'm not trying to knock him in any way, y'all. Like, good for him. It's great to see a black man that is a principal doing his thing. That is amazing. I'm not knocking him in any kind of way at all. I'm just shocked that he could be a principal already at 25. I'm like, how did that happen? Because if he went straight to college and then he graduated, he would have to do intern time and get his credential. But like I said, their state, it probably has way different process to be a teacher than California. We have one of the most difficult processes here in this state. So I don't know what they had going on, but I'm like, how are you principal already, child? And I've still been teaching 7 years. Jesus. Anyway, but good for you, Kenneth. Okay, so Kenneth came home. He took them braids out. Okay, he was on that phone. Brittany was trying to unpack. He was uninterested. She was like, okay, you're in your phone. He's like, I got to catch up on the emails. I got a presentation. Somebody had to run to school while I was gone. He had a lot to do. Okay. But he didn't care. Okay. He's like, yeah, she came home. She was unpacking and you wasn't helping. So then they had a conversation at some point. This is after he took his braids out, about how she feels like, oh, when you wake up in the morning, you're not like, I'm like, oh, hey. And he's just like, hey. And she's like, oh, you don't have the same spark you did when we were in the DR and everything like that. And then he was like, okay, but you're taking like this one moment and you're saying that, like, I'm coming at you like I'm being different, when really, like, I'm not. You can't expect me to be, basically, he's like, you can't expect me to be all bubbly and upbeat like you 24/7 a day. Like, that don't mean I'm acting different. And I'm like, girl, Kenneth is a black man. He's not a bubbly white girl. He's not gonna be like, oh my God, hey, every morning. Like, he's not about to be doing that. Like, and I get what Kenneth is saying, like, you can't expect for me to be on this same energy all the time, right? So then, now I could tell Kenneth was over her. I could tell. I could tell he was over her. I think he did have like a spiritual connection with her or whatever in the pods. Like, in the pods, I believed it. When they got to the DR, I didn't believe it anymore. That's how I felt about it. So then, so I guess he was sitting there eating at the counter. She was showing him her blue nail polish. And then she said, you came waking me up at 1 a.m. Like, what was going on? And so then she was like, "You were out all night." He's like, "First of all, I had to go get my hair done. Then I had to go meet my mentor." Now, like, when I was meeting with your mentor late at night, but whatever. I was like, Brittany, girl, black hair is a process, girl. That's gonna take some time. Okay, if he had to get his braids together, that's gonna take some time. But he said he was out doing stuff, and he said, I tried to wake you up, I tried to hug on you, kiss on you, but you weren't really giving nothing. She's like, well, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I had to get up at 5. I had stuff to do. Now, if you gonna come wake me up at 1 o'clock in the morning and expect me to be, trying to kiss you, be nice to you, like, it's not happening. Kenneth, I don't know what world you got that from, but she was not trying to really be affectionate with him. And so then he was saying, like, I noticed with you, like, you'll be in boss mode and you'll be like this. And, you're saying I'm not affectionate, I'll kiss you all that. But then when I try, you seem like you're not interested at times. So then, I'm a respectful gentleman. So then I pull away. And then she was saying, like, I know you're the right person. I know you're a good person, but I'm just not sure. Like, I'm not feeling, I forgot the word she used, but she said basically she's not having like the feelings that she wants to feel for him, like romantic or spark or something like that. But that's not the word she used. And so then he was like, okay, if you're not feeling that, like, that's a you issue because I'm not having that issue. He's like, well, like, thank you for telling me, but that's not my issue. I was like, ooh. So then he was like, okay, so basically what you're telling me is that I'm a good person. You feel like I'm what you need. I'm this good person. I have good intentions, but you're not feeling connected to me. He's like, that's what I'm hearing. He's like, okay, well, that's not good. Like, if you're feeling that way, that's not good. Like, that's not a way to start a marriage on. And so she up there crying. He just eating his food, looking at the phone. And then I was like, okay, on Twitter, I was like, I swear I blinked and Kenneth broke up with Brittany. I was like, what the hell happened? I was like, wait, it's over? It was like they was over at a snap. Kenneth wrapped it up. Kenneth moved Brittany on along. He shoe flied her. Okay. He said, nope, I will not be with this white girl and I will not be embarrassed on TV. That's what Kenneth was giving, right? So um he's basically like, yeah, this is not enough to start a marriage. And then he was like, this is not gonna work. Like, I wish you the best. Like, give me a hug so there's no beef. But I know God, what God has for me, God has for me. God has prepared for me whatever he got for me. And I know that God gonna bring you your person, God gonna bring me my person, but we don't need to be trying to force it or make it work. And I said, oh, Kenneth said he gonna find his way out. That's what Kenneth said. Now this girl crying all on the counter, she's sitting on the sofa crying. Kenneth went upstairs, got back on that phone. He called his friend, talking about he about to come over and bring his stuff. I said, Kenneth. Kenneth said, not him, not today. He will not be the one. Okay, Shayna says she wants to know how he got to be. He wants to know how he got to be a principal so soon too. She said she thought it took time to get into it. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, that was so fast. I mean, like somebody said on Twitter, at least they didn't drag it out. But yeah, that Brittany and Kenneth thing went by. I was like, whoa, that didn't last. And a lot of people was having hope in them, but yeah, that did not last. Anyway, so that's that. I mean, that's all really we got on Kenneth and Brittany, y'all. That's literally all we have, y'all. Sorry. So, all right, let's see. Who should we talk about next? Let's talk about should we talk about AD and Clay or Chelsea and Jimmy? We can talk about AD and Clay. So AD and Clay, so they were on the honeymoon and they went to they were riding on like the Jeeps all around town or something like that. That would be cool to do on vacation. That's something like I never really did. And so he's like, yeah, I'd like to get red light kisses. That's my thing. Give me some red light kisses. I was like, Clay, something annoying about him to me. Like, he a nice looking guy, but something is annoying. So they were stopping somewhere to eat and they got like plantains and stuff. He's just staring in the water. And he cleaning up the dishes. Like, he looking lost in his face. She's like, what you thinking about? And so he said he just worried he gonna disappoint her. He don't want to let her down. And he don't want to fail at the marriage, and he's like, I don't want to cheat on you, but I might cheat on you. Like, the thing that irritates me about Clay is that I feel like he be setting her up to be a dog. Like, he be setting her up like, now I done already told you I'm not Mr. Faithful, so what you get is what you're gonna get. Like, no, we not doing that. And we know that AD like a project, she like a fixer upper. And I'm like, girl, like, why are you even wasting your time with this? Like, if this the only black couple we got on the show to work with, that's what we got. But I really feel like AD needs to like continue to work on herself, and Clay definitely needs to continue to work on himself. And then she was like, "Okay, are you saying you're gonna cheat on me? Like, what you about to do?" And he was like, "No, no, no. I just, I don't want to let you down. We got the day coming. I got to make sure, I'm doing this right and all this." And I was like, "Okay, sir." Anyway, then we did see them at the little get together. Jimmy spoke with AD about like, oh, sorry, the comments he made about her body and all that. And he basically said his wife embarrassed him, but I was like, no, you embarrassed yourself. And so then she was like, oh, I'm glad, you talk about my body made you and Chelsea, get it popping, because they had sex after they got in that argument. So then she was also talking to Jeremy, and Jeremy was like, how are things with you and Clay? And, AD was sharing her experience so far. And he was like, yeah, AD is amazing. I mean, Clay is, really good. And he's very, I think he used the word introspective. Like, he'll kind of get quiet. He's just kind of in the zone. He was like, we noticed that in the pods about him. And so the AD was like, oh my gosh, like, I noticed that. But she was like, I thought it was just me. I didn't realize like what he had going on, what he was doing. And so Jeremy was like, yeah, like, don't, that's just how he is. And he's like, he speaks highly of you all the time. Like, don't worry. And so she's like, oh my gosh, like, thank you. Like, that is a weight lifted off my shoulders. And Clay, I was going to call Clay AD for some reason, but Clay does always, he's always like in a deep thought and thinking about him, like his behaviors and his actions. I feel like he may want to do better, but he don't know how to do better or do different. And it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks at the end of the day. But yeah, he needs to go get some therapy and not be marrying nobody is what he needs to do. What he really, really needs to do. All right, let me get into this chat because we got a bunch of comments. Okay. Let's see. All right. Shayna said, oh, she'll wonder if he'll come back around because it was so abrupt. Oh, Kenneth? I don't know. I feel like he about to go find him a black girl, to be honest. I don't know. I feel like Kenneth said, let me go back to the black people. Anyway. Shayna said Clay is attractive until he starts talking. Him being a homeowner isn't enough to win me. Yeah, now I did like his house, and we'll get into the house in a minute. I was impressed with his house, and he has businesses and things like that. But yeah, that scene when they was talking at the beach, and he was like asking her about Boston, Massachusetts, where she's from, and the beaches down there, and she's like, "Yeah, I got Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard," and he was like, "Oh, that's a beach." I was like, "He didn't." I was like, "How he not know? How he not know Martha's Vineyard was the beach?" So I was like, "Huh." I was like, oh, yeah, lots of Clay don't know. I was like, don't speak, baby, don't speak. It's a lot of stuff. Yeah. A house is not enough. You're right, girl. A house is not enough. Oh, hey, was that Monique King? Monique always shows love too. Shout out to Monique King. Yes, it is alive. Thanks for coming through. All right. Oh, Shayna said, hey, Monique. Monique always supports everybody. We appreciate that. All right, everybody's saying hey. Okay. Thank y'all for showing up in the chat. Monique, let us know what you think of the couple so far. Who you think is going to make it and who is not. Well, we already know Kenneth and Brittany not making it, but who else you think gonna make it or not make it? But yeah, Clay not too bright. So we didn't really see Clay talking to people on the beach. I believe he did a little Toast, what did he say? I'm not above you. I'm not beneath you. I'm right here by your side. Something. I never heard of that, but I was like, that's cute, Clay. That's cute. So then they got back to the shared apartment. He said he got to have a spot on the sofa to watch TV because he liked to watch TV. And then him and AD were talking. We also seen his house. His house was very, very nice. He had quite a bit of clothes, you know. He has a little style and stuff. And so I don't remember if it was when they were at the shared apartment or the house. And then he was talking. I think it was a shared apartment when he was talking about. No, was it the house? I can't remember. Anyway, he had the conversation I enjoyed from that particular episode, and I believe it's episode 8, is when he was talking about he wants to meet AD's family. AD called her moms and her sisters and all that. And his dad is moving to Atlanta. So his dad's going to start through Charlotte, North Carolina to see them. And he's like, my dad could be a little bit of a ladies' man. Like he might be trying to hit on you. And, he said he got all his stuff from his dad because his dad was a smooth talker. And he always seen his dad as a ladies' man. And his dad would cheat on his mom. His dad and his mom were together for like 24 years or 25 years. And his dad was, I guess, never really faithful to his mom. And he would so Clay's dad would take Clay on trips or wherever where the dad would go be cheating on the mom. And Clay was like, dang, I didn't even realize that. I never told my mom. And I felt bad for Clay in that moment. But my thing is, AD is not your therapist. Like, you need to go sit on a therapist sofa. Like, I don't want to be with somebody that always got to be their therapist. Like, friends, boyfriends, family. Like, you can vent to me and I can try to help you through, but there's some point where I'm gonna need you to go get professional help. If I gotta always be your therapist, then you need to go find a therapist, because sometimes that can get draining if you're not the professional person skilled in that, right? So he was saying how like he wants to get therapy, he wants to get couples therapy, and like I understand what Clay was talking about because that story, I'm just saying, hit very close to home what he was saying about what his dad was doing. Hit very, very close to home for me. So I understand that. And I don't like when parents do that. Like, don't take the kid out there to do your dirty work and then they got to hide it from the other parent. Like, that's just horrible to me. Horrible, horrible. So AD was very impressed with his house, and she was like, "Oh, you want me to come move in? Put a lady's touch." She said it was very definitely a bachelor's pad, but she was glad, it didn't have a woman's touch yet, because that would mean something else. And so, she want to move in and all that. So then we do see Clay introduced AD to his mom and his sister. Let me check the chat real quick, y'all. All right. Monique said nobody. Probably not. Probably not. You don't even think Johnny and Amy will make it? Let me know if you think Johnny and Amy will make it. I think Johnny and Amy are the only ones we go and get, really. I'm gonna be okay with AD saying no to Clay on marriage day. Like, girl, just say no. You try. Shayna says she's been through something like that with her dad, but Clay. Yeah, Clay let AD know that he's going to cheat. Yeah, that just gets tiring. Yeah, Shayna, you can relate to that too. Yeah, I didn't go through that personally, but one of my siblings did. So yeah, and I didn't like that. So Clay and AD go to meet with Clay's mom and his sister. They're both very beautiful. They came from, I don't know what city they came from, but they came to visit. And so Mama said she worked that day. AD had got cold. Mama gave her sweater. And I was like, Clay, why you didn't give AD the sweater? So the sister's asking him like what they did today. I guess that was her conversation starter. And so they were asking AD, like, what does she do? So AD does real estate, which we didn't know. We didn't know she used to be a cheerleader. And she was saying how she cheered in 2 of the Super Bowls with the Patriots, I believe. Or was it the Pittsburgh Steelers? I can't remember. And so she was saying she does real estate, but she wants to get into investing and flipping houses and things like that, which is really cool. And then she's also a nightclub manager where she does the VIP thing. So the sister was like, girl, what you doing in the nightclub? Because I used to work in the nightclub. Because I think the sister was trying to make sure she wasn't a bottle girl like Raven was from a couple seasons ago. But she said she managed the VIP. So if you want the VIP hookup, y'all better call your girl AD in Charlotte. So the mom was saying how, you know, Clay's really in his business as well. So, you know, you guys can really connect on that. And so I can't remember if it was the mom or the sister brought up the whole, you know, busy schedules and, you know, Clay's very busy. How does that work? I think the mom brought it up. And so AD says she's getting used to Clay's busy schedule. You know, he worked 9 to 5 and he do 9 to 9 or 5 to 9, whatever his schedule is. So he worked too much a little bit for AD, but she getting used to the schedule. Clay was like, okay, well, she about to be busy too, because when she start her nightclub thing, she gonna be out all night long. She just ain't started it yet. But it wasn't AD talking like she was already at the job anyway. So he was saying like he does try to do things to save time. Like he didn't come on Saturday night because he was in whatever city. And then he had to go back to the next city. So he didn't want to drive all the way back home when he had to go somewhere else and get the jet skis ready. So I didn't do any research or digging because I don't have time for that. But I guess he has like a jet ski and boat business. I was trying to ask the people on Twitter. So all we got from it is that it's a jet ski business. But it sounded like he has something else going on besides that. But I don't know. He said like this deal he's doing right now was like make a break for him. And they said he's pretty, I mean, he must be pretty successful. He bought a house and everything. So he said, you know, he just wants some little bit of grace given because, you know, he's trying to, you know, get it done. Something he said, he kind of sounded a little snappy, and AD was like, whoa. And the mom was like, oh, I'm gonna take a sip of my drink on that. And so because he's like, what you want me to do, basically. And so the mom said, you know, if I could give a little advice here, like both of you guys need to give each other grace when it comes to the schedules. And she was like, you know, Clay, I know you're busy, you're trying to make things easier, but you'll make time for what you want to make time for. Like basically you got to make time for each other, and Clay needs to actually put in the effort to make time. And then he's like, oh, but didn't we spend time together when we was laughing? Did he say gossiping? I swore he said gossiping. Anyway, when we were laughing and talking and all that. And so she's like, yeah, that's good, but you know, that ain't enough. And so he said he gonna try to work on it. Mom said she was married 24 years. You know, the marriage failed, but she don't consider it a failure because that was a pretty good run. And I like her perspective on that. And just because it didn't work out doesn't mean it was a failure. And so she said, but you know, marriage is hard work. You got to put it in. And she said, she looked at AD. She said, marriage can be good with the right person. The way mama looked at AD, mama to me was saying, do not marry my son because he ain't the right person. I feel like Clay's mom was giving AD subliminal messages like, he ain't it, girl. He ain't it. I was with the daddy. He ain't it. Was it just me? But I feel like AD's mom or Clay's mama was giving AD messages, girl, like, don't do it. She was giving her the don't do it. Not my son, don't do it. You're going to be in heartache and heartbreak like I was. That's what she was saying. So anyway, I think that was pretty much it with AD and Clay. That was it. We didn't meet her family yet. And we didn't see her house. All right, now let's talk about, we'll say Laura and Jeremy for last because that's for season 9 or episode 9 in it. And that part was funny to me. So let's talk about Chelsea and Jimmy. They are exhausting. Chelsea is insufferable. Like I just can't. So, you know, when they're on the honeymoon, they met with other couples on a little beach party. Chelsea saying they needed that little incident to get it popping for them to have some sex and stuff. I'm like, girl. So we didn't see too much more for them. Oh, they rode the what do you call those things? Buggies or something in the DR. And so she was asking him his, you know, most fun part. And he said riding the buggies, like whipping her around. And she was like, that was your most fun part? Like, I thought you would have said this and that. And he said his least favorite part was eating. He was trying to eat all taquitos on the beach because I guess he thought that was the only good thing to eat. I don't know, but he bit his lip too hard trying to eat all the taquitos and he was spitting blood. So he was like, be careful on the kisses because, you know, I split my lip. I was like, ugh. And y'all see when Jimmy took his shirt off, Jimmy got a dad body. Ugh. Jimmy is, I was like, y'all was really fighting over Jimmy in the pods. I don't see it. Like, I really don't see it for Jimmy. I don't see it whatsoever. I do not see it for Jimmy. No, and y'all know Jimmy is 27, but he's giving a good old 37 to me. Is it just me? But Jimmy is giving a good old 37. Okay. Anyway, we did see when they were packing to go back home, and they got to the shared apartment. It was really nice, their shared apartment. They looked like they had townhomes, all them shared apartments. It's just me, look like townhomes. So he was saying he had to wash all his clothes or something. So then they went to see each other's apartments. Chelsea has a roommate, and the roommate came out with balloons and champagne, and she's like, "Y'all, you moving in, Jimmy? Jimmy ain't moving in there." They went to Jimmy's place. Now Chelsea got a little exaggerating lying problem, because the same way she said she looked like Megan Fox, which we determined is a lie, is the same way that Jimmy's apartment is big to her, which is a lie. Now Jimmy got a studio, and I ain't knocking a studio. I used to have a studio when I back in my later college days, before I left the city I went to college in. Like, I had to be a studio. Studio was a good time. Used to have lots of people, all my friends be in that studio with me. Okay, wouldn't do it today, but it was fun times. Jimmy got a studio. And Chelsea went over there talking about, "Oh, this is not as small as you made it sound. Like, this is so huge." And the camera panned around. And I was like, "Is his bed where the sofa is?" No. Jessica, girl, if you still want Jimmy, I feel sorry for you. Oh, we got to talk about what Jessica and Laura made up too. We'll get to that. So anyway, Jimmy said it wasn't enough room for both of them to be living there. But she said, "Well, you gonna do, move in with me and my roommate. We're gonna kick her out." So he's like, "I guess you gotta live in here." It's fine. So we did see when Chelsea's friends came to visit her in the middle of the day. And she said Jimmy was upstairs working. So, we got to go outside. So they were, catching up with Chelsea, looking at her ring, asking her questions, how it was in the pods, was she interested in anyone else? She lets them know about Trevor and how he had a mullet and how he was more of her type and he didn't like anybody else. And I think they kind of were asking her, like, "Well, girl, why did you choose Trevor if he didn't have any other connections?" But she said, it was a hard decision. And Jimmy also had 2 connections. And she was saying, like, Jessica, she's really gorgeous and all this stuff. And then she was saying that Jimmy been on his phone. All the guys been back on their phone. Like, that's just what we've been seeing the whole time. All the men have been like this since they got back from the DR. Every last one of them. I think the only one we didn't really see doing that was Johnny. And we didn't really see AD doing that. But all the men have been all up in their phones since they got back from the DR. Because they try to see who else was in them pods. That's why they in their phones. Okay. So Chelsea continues to fill the ladies in on everything that happened. And she said, "Jimmy hasn't kissed me." So her friend was like, "Girl, at all?" And she's like, "No, just today." She's like, "Oh, girl." So Chelsea feels like Jimmy hasn't kissed her all day and he hasn't been affectionate. He hasn't said, "I love you," and all this stuff. So Jimmy finally came down from work and he said his boss said he was irreplaceable. I guess Jimmy. So Jimmy was talking with the friends and they're asking him questions like, does he want kids? I think he said 3 or something, but he could compromise. And he's letting her know about the pods. He asked them, is he what she usually dates? And they were like, "No, she don't really date your type at all." And then he tells the friends about the whole Megan Fox thing, right? So Chelsea's like, "Who did everybody say I look like?" And they were like, "Carrie Underwood." And she don't look like Carrie Underwood either, but that's closer. She looked closer to Carrie Underwood than she do Megan Fox. So anyway, and so then they were like, "Megan Fox." She's like, "See, the dark hair, the light eyes, the big boobs." But Chelsea, you don't have dark hair. Don't Chelsea hair look reddish brown? Her hair is not like black or dark brown. Like, I'm like, girl, have you looked in the mirror at yourself? And Chelsea's just so insecure. And I'm like, "Chelsea, you're not a bad looking girl." Like, she was, worried about her body. Her body looked fine to me. I was like, "Oh, Chelsea, girl. Trevor, you dodged the bullet with that one, chat." Let me check the chat out. Oh, Shayna said she wasn't mad at that studio because prices are high right now. Right? I know. I wouldn't mind saving some money and living in the studio because the 2-bedroom is high. Okay, it is very, very high. So I'll feel you on that. Oh, Nikki, that is my sister. Shout out to Nicole Dunlap. She says, "So obvious Jimmy doesn't like her. So obvious, or don't like her." Hey, Nicole. Shout out to Nicole. That is my sister, y'all. And Monique King said she's offended for Carrie Underwood too. Girl. Because it's not giving Carrie Underwood, and it sure ain't giving Megan Fox. Anyway. Oh, we got another comment. Oh, Shayna said hi, Nicole. All right. I was hoping you was gonna join, Nikki. Anyway, so yeah, what were we talking about? Jimmy and Chelsea. Okay, so Jimmy and Chelsea, Jimmy's, getting the lowdown from the friends, all that, they chopping it up. So the friends left. He said he liked the friends, they cool. So then Chelsea started talking about how Jimmy was working all day and he never came to say I love you. And he just be like, love you. He don't really be putting no meaning into it. And he didn't kiss her all day. Now I did see when he kissed her on the cheek, but I guess that wasn't good enough. And she's just complaining. I just want to be loved. And oh my God. And you didn't make me feel comfy. And oh my God. And I was like, girl, he's working. Like, girl, anybody gonna be all on you all the time? So he was like, what you want me to do? Like, you want me to tell you I love you all the time? Like, what you want me to do? So then he couldn't take no more. He said, yeah, you acting clingy. He says, giving clinger. And I was like, ooh. So then she was like, clingy? What? Clingy? She was like, you know what? We're not going to have sex. Like, you could just forget it after I didn't cook your dinner. And then I went upstairs and had sex with you and all this stuff. And then he was like, well, to be honest, like, you was the one that wanted to have sex. And I was like, oh, no, Jimmy. Not Jimmy acting like he the prize in the situation. Jimmy, stop it. You too much, Jimmy. So then Jimmy said he couldn't kiss her because his lip was sore from biting his lip, eating them taquitos too hard. That's why he couldn't kiss her. Okay. Jimmy got every excuse in the book. So Jimmy couldn't take no more. So Jimmy packed his stuff up and went. Because she was like, maybe I shouldn't sleep here tonight. So then he was like, no, he ain't sleeping here tonight. So he got his stuff and he went. Y'all see, he packed his stuff. He got his stuff at the bathroom and everything. Jimmy said he is leaving. Okay. Oh, let me go to the chat. Chelsea looks like herself. Oh, yeah, she just cut it out. Yeah, Chelsea looked like Chelsea. She looked like a Chelsea, actually. So she looked like. Nicole said, offended for Carrie Underwood. Yeah, that was funny. Like I'm calling you Nicole, like I don't call you Nikki. Shayna said, I wish I would let Jimmy play it like play me like this on TV. Yeah, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. No. Y'all see what Jimmy look like? So then I thought at this point Jimmy and what's the name was gonna be through Chelsea, but then here they go. They just exhausted because they just break up. He come back and apologize. They make up. She climbing all over him. So he came back and gave his tired apology. Now, mind you, Jeremy had showed Jimmy what Jessica looked like on social media. And that also played into all this argument. I think Chelsea had brought it up. She was like, oh, I feel like now that you saw what Jessica looked like, you acting different, and I'm tired of dealing with this. And he's like, it has nothing to do with that. Oh, it has everything to do with that, Jimmy. So, but yeah, he apologized. He's still talking about his lip. He's talking about he don't want her withholding sex and all that. Y'all tired. And anyway, y'all ain't gonna last. It's fine. Jimmy wanted to return Chelsea to Cinder when he saw her in the pods. Okay. When they ran out to meet each other, he was like, this is not what I purchased and I need to return it to the store. Yeah. Then they met with his friends, and his friends were really nice to her. And they asked her if she had concerns about, they asked her, will she get ready to be married again? Because, she was previously married. And she said she is. And they asked her, does she have any concerns about him having a lot of friends that were girls? I was surprised that Jimmy had all those friends that were girls. Were y'all surprised about that? And so she said, like in the past, she's been with guys and they had girls that were friends and then they ended up getting with those girls. So she's had some, bad experiences with that, but she would, hope that didn't happen this time. The friends like her. They said they could be friends with her as well. They don't give me they gonna be fooling with Jimmy. They don't give that. They said this big sister thing, but you never know. Okay, you can't put nothing past nobody. And she says she can't judge because one of her best friends is her ex-boyfriend, and they decided they should be friends. Chelsea got a bunch of, she got lots of her. That's all I'm gonna say. I think that was pretty much it with them. I feel like they had another argument and broke up, but anyway. But she is very. Oh, did y'all see how she said when she was sitting with the friends how she's ready for marriage and she's got her career, she's made a business for herself, and she's very secure in herself and she's ready for love. And I was like, girl, secure where? Because you're very, very insecure. You just said it on the honeymoon, so you're not secure. Okay, you are not. Um, Anyway, enough of Chelsea and Jimmy. They literally irritate me. Laura and Jessica met up. They was wearing the same outfits, looked like they was in a girl group. And so Jessica said Jimmy tried to add her as a friend on Instagram or something. And she was like, oh my God, what do I do? And then she ignored it for like 8 hours. And then I guess he took the request away, but she was like, I already saw what you look like. And so Laura's like, you not running for the hills when you saw Jimmy? I was like, Laura is shady. And so she was like, no matter what he looked like I was still gonna love him. And she said she still have feelings for him. And she's like, do you think he wants to meet me? Like, I know he made the wrong choice. And Chelsea, she's amazing. She's beautiful. She's the end all be all. But Jessica still want to meet Jimmy and see if she got a chance. And I was like, girl, I feel like Jessica at this point just wants to win. Like she talking about she was all in love and all this stuff. No, you just want to win at this point, Jessica, especially if you saw what Chelsea looked like. Especially if you saw what Chelsea looked like. But okay, girl, sure. You just so in love with Jimmy still. Nikki said these North Carolina men have way too much audacity for me. Audacity. Oh, I said that word all wrong, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, yeah, they do. They definitely do. And why Netflix stay going to Charlotte, North Carolina? Like, can we go somewhere else? Weren't they there for the ultimatum last season? Like, can we really go somewhere else? Yeah, Jessica just wants to one up Chelsea. Exactly, Shayna. All right. Finish getting in this chat. Chelsea and Jessica are competing with each other. Oh, definitely. Over Jimmy. And who said what's her name? Chelsea was telling her friends that he was the hot commodity in the pods. And all the women, he had all these connections, all the women wanted him. We only saw 2 women. And they both are a fool for one Jimmy. But anyway. Chelsea should have really chose Trevor. And that preview of Trevor cut that mullet, I said, oh, Trevor's looking good. Okay, he's looking good. Anyway, Chelsea really should have really chose Trevor though. But Trevor would have to do a lot of emotional work with that girl. See, Chelsea, you oversold yourself. Is what she did. You know, she wasn't staying in her lane. Okay. And really, she could have got somebody better looking than Jimmy because Trevor looked way better than Jimmy, in my opinion. But she played herself. And Jimmy played himself thinking that girl looked like Megan Fox. All right. Enough of them. Let's wrap this up. How long we been on here, y'all? Oh, we've been on here. Oh, over an hour. All right. Oh no, about an hour. About an hour. So it's not bad. Last couple we got to talk about is Laura and Jimmy. Now, Laura, I got mixed feelings about Laura. Like, I didn't like the way she ran to Jessica in the pod. Like, girl, I mean, she was right. Like, girl, you need to go home because this ain't your man. But like, didn't nobody ask you? And you basically are instigating and inserting yourself. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that bean dip thing and the way she tried to downplay it and make it Jimmy's fault. And so when we see them come back on the honeymoon, and I guess she said that, you know, Jimmy slept on the sofa, she slept in the bed, he was very cold to her, very icy, and she didn't know why, she didn't know what she did wrong. And I was like, girl, you made him look stupid and feel stupid. Like, that's why he's mad at you. And I just didn't care for the way Lawyer like flipped the script to make it like it was Jimmy's fault. She's like, next time when I tell you something, like, you don't need to be saying anything. And like, how would he have known like he wasn't supposed to repeat that unless you told him, you know? Like, I just didn't like Laura doing that because I don't think Jimmy would have said that if he would have known what it meant. And he didn't know what it meant, right? And he was mad. That's what he was mad about. So Jimmy ended up apologizing and saying he's sorry. And she was like, oh yeah, the way you were acting yesterday shutting me out. Like, I've been through that in past relationships. Like, I would not do that again. At that time, I would say I would not marry you. And so they're basically saying they're going to continue to work on their communication, and that's something they do have. And what was he saying? He said that they're doing the best right now because of their communication. And I was like, no, y'all not. So anyway, then we did see them, at the getaway. I mean, on the beach with everybody. Like I said, Jeremy was talking to Amy. Oh, Jeremy was telling Amy that him and Sarah Ann never talked about how they resolved conflict and talked about serious stuff, whereas him and Laura did. And that was his main reasoning for picking Laura over Sarah Ann. Now, I initially liked him with Laura over Sarah Ann. I never saw it for Sarah Ann for some reason. But I don't know if Sarah Ann trying to slide back through. Sarah Ann is getting in the DMs. So when Laura met with Jessica, right? Laura was showing Jessica all the DMs, like Sarah Ann is reaching out saying, I would love to talk and all this stuff. So Jeremy was like, he was keeping it PG, like, you was a nice person, girl. We good. It's all good. So then she said something about like, oh, let me know if you change your mind and we can meet up, something like that. And Jeremy didn't respond. So Laura is pissed at this point. Now I don't blame her. Okay. Let me see what's in the chat real quick. Who is that? Monique King is over Jimmy. Girl, we are all over him. Nikki said, also Trevor was lifting 150-pound dumbbells, each hand on his IG. That's all I'm saying. Oh, let me find Trevor's IG. Let me find it. Shayna said Jeremy was going to tear up some names. Jeremy, we going to tear up some names. We do be messing up the names. Oh, especially on Ready to Love this season. Check out Shayna's channel because she reviews Ready to Love, and so do I. We'll be doing that tomorrow, huh? We was tearing up them names. His name is Jeremy, though. Wait, is that not his name? Ain't that the white boy's name with the glasses? Oh, Jeremy was allegedly engaged when he applied to the show. No, I didn't see that. Oh, I knew Jeremy was nothing. He ain't shit. No. Oh, no. Okay, now let me tell y'all. Excuse me. I'm just being very transparent with y'all. I don't even like white boys like that. But it's something about Jeremy. And now I'm feeling like seeing that he's real toxic too, based on what Shayna said. But it's something about Jeremy. I don't know. It's something about him. I don't know if it's the facial hair. And when he had the hat and the facial hair, it was something about Jeremy. Now, when he had them glasses on the pod, I didn't see it for him. But when he had them glasses on, I was like, okay, Jeremy. So anyway, okay, so we talked about the honeymoon enough with Jeremy and Laura. And so they're gonna work through their issues. They good. I don't think they had any other real moments until they got back home. So they were looking in the shared apartment. She was saying, don't be spitting all over the sink. Don't be leaving dirty dishes. Don't do this. Don't do that. She was going through all the housekeeping rules. And he was like, okay, don't live like an animal, right? And I was like, girl, like, relax. So then they went to see, I don't think we saw her apartment, but we definitely went to see his. I think she was, she was shocked with how nice his apartment was and clean it was. Because I don't think she believed him. She's like, yeah, guys be saying their apartments be clean, but they don't be clean. But his apartment really was clean, as he said. And he had the little robot going around. He had matching dish sets and things turned a certain way. She said it looked staged. She said he's a minimalist. We saw his CPAP. Jeremy got a CPAP. I said, how you on CPAP already? He got the little mask thing to go over the face. Okay. But she seemed to like his house and stuff. And like Jeremy said, he didn't go straight to college. He started a business first. And so he was showing her some things in the garage where he was, I guess, highlighted in a news article. We also saw his dad, who we know passed away. At one point, Jeremy had long hair. He definitely looks better with the short hair. He got a little gym in his garage. So Jeremy's house is not nice. I think Jeremy said he rents though, right? Anyway, then we gotta talk about when her parents came over. So her family came over. She's briefing him on like what to say, not to say. And so she's telling him, how, or telling the family about like how she don't like his Hawaiian shirt, and they're talking about motorcycles and all this stuff. And then they're talking about the pods, and they're asking, Jeremy, like, what made you want to do Love is Blind? And he said, because other people will be on the show that were looking for the same things as him, and they do a thorough background check. And I said, they don't do no background check on Matthew. They can't be doing that good of background checks. And if Jeremy was engaged, allegedly, they're not doing background checks, Jeremy, because they just find guilty. Anyway, so he was saying it's a good place where he's able to express himself and share his feelings and all that good stuff. So somehow Laura got on the topic of, the drama in the pods, and how Jeremy also likes Sarah Ann, and how that didn't work out. And then how Sarah Ann was texting him. And he's like, I showed her the text. I ran downstairs and showed her as soon as it happened. And the brother or the cousin, I don't know, brother-in-law, whoever he was with the long hair in the house, said that, he was being honest. So he was supporting him, right? And so the mom and the dad is looking annoyed, especially the mom, like, oh, child. Like, I know this ain't my daughter. And then even the mom was like, well, it's not going to be perfect. She's trying to interject. So the mom and the dad in their confessional was saying that, if you put her on a pedestal and treat her like a princess, like she will walk all over you. And the mom was like, I hate that, guys let her get away with that she always gets away with it. Like, she could be mean and want her way and all this stuff. So mama is like, But, my thing, mom and dad, Laura's mom and dad, y'all kind of contributed to her being that way. Like, where did she get that from? She probably got that from however y'all raised her. I'm not blaming them, but I'm just saying, when you spoil somebody, that's what you're going to get. So anyway, I'm assuming that was her sister and whoever else went outside to talk to Laura, and the mom went out there and she was like, you guys are always taking jabs at each other. Like, you want to come out good on the night, on the other side of this. Basically, mom is like, you don't want to always be so negative and taking jabs at each other. And so I don't think Laura was really listening to her mom, though, to be honest, y'all. And the sister was like, I don't mind Hawaiian shirts. Like, if my man want to wear Hawaiian shirts, I'm gonna buy him Hawaiian shirts because that's how he expresses himself. I didn't see how them Hawaiian shirts is looking. Like, I don't know. But Jeremy looked fine with that Hawaiian shirt on in the DR. But that's the appropriate place to wear a Hawaiian shirt. It's like where he wearing them and how they looking. That's what we need to see. Oh, did I talk to y'all about how when Johnny had his family over, so he had his siblings over, they looked dead on him. Them sisters, Johnny's sisters, looked dead on him, especially in the eyes, and they were just very, very bubbly. And they were riding for him and Amy. I like how supportive they came in. I just remember that scene and wanted to talk about it real quick. So then I think that was pretty much it with Laura and Jeremy. Then we got down to the to when Jeremy came home at 5 a.m. Okay, now this scene to me was so funny because the way Jeremy was sitting on that sofa, knowing he was lying and keeping a straight face. So let me get in the chat before we even get into it. Let me get into the chat. Oh, it was on the neighborhood talk. Oh, I don't follow them. Thank you, Monique King. I gotta get on that. Let's see. Nikki said, yeah, he rents because of the engagement thing. Ooh, y'all got all the tea. Let me see. Next one. Oh, not my computer. Oh, there it goes. Oh, Shayna saw it on the Shade Room. Okay, I do follow the Shade Room. Let me look through the Shade Room. Shayna says she want to look. Oh, he was holding a baby. Wait, he was holding a baby. Oh, I gotta get. Okay, when we get done this live, I'm about to get on the Shade Room. Ooh. Oh, I think Nikki just sent it to me. Thank you, Nikki. Let me look. It's allegedly Jeremy. Don't be trying to shut me down. Oh, thank you, Nikki. Oh, oh. Uh-uh. Ooh, okay, y'all just saw the post. Y'all already seen it. Well, for those who y'all catching the replay, so y'all can see it. Okay, for some everybody else, I think on the live right now already saw it. Let me see. It's all blurry because my background. But y'all go to the shade room if y'all want to see it. Not Jeremy. Oh no. These men are diabolical, y'all. They diabolical. They just be lying. Thank you, Nikki. I got it. All right. That's crazy. And did y'all watch that TikTok thing? Somebody was talking about it. Was it Misha was talking about it in her live? I think I was listening to that the other night about that girl on TikTok with all the chapters. And then this girl, the nurse that works in one of the nurses that works in my classroom was telling me all about it. That girl on TikTok that got the 50 chapters was talking about her ex-husband Legion and all that. I don't even be on TikTok like that, but they're gonna make me get on it the way that was going. Anyway, but that's off topic. Let's get back to Love is Blind. So this is the last scene, and then we're gonna wrap it up. So Jeremy's sitting there with his glasses on, with his leg up. And what's her name? Laura sitting on the sofa. She's like, "You just gonna sit here with your sunglasses on in the house?" So then he took them off. And so she was like, "Okay, you came home at 5 a.m. Where was you?" And so he said, he's going to karaoke, but then the fellas hit me up. They changed locations. And then we was going to the bar. And then one of the guys said that, "Oh, by the way, Sarah Ann is here." What kind of name is Sarah Ann? But anyway. So then he was like, "Oh, snap, like I ain't gonna go there." But then he's like, "You know what? I don't want to make things awkward. I'm gonna go have the moment, get it done." Of course you are, Jeremy. So then he went over there and Sarah Ann came by and said, "Hey," to Jeremy and walked away. So then he was like, "No, like let's have the conversation." So then they talked about stuff, and he said that was it. We just had a conversation. That was it. So she was like, Laura was like, "Oh, so you want me to believe that you was up all night at 5 a.m. talking to Sarah Ann? Is that what you want me to believe?" He was like, "I turned my location on. I share with you my location." She was like, "I shouldn't even have to be in the situation where I had to just get your location." And she's like, "What your location gonna do? Like I was asleep. What you want me to be following your location all night long?" And then she was like, "And plus I'm supposed to meet your mom today. And I don't even want to meet your mom at this point. Like I don't even know, what's up with me and you right now. And I don't want to be fake." Okay. So then she was like, "So what were, you and Sarah Ann doing?" And then he said he don't want to talk about that right now. I said, "Oh, he don't want to talk about it on camera." And then if he got somebody he was engaged to, oh, Jeremy in a whole mess. Jeremy is a whole F boy, y'all. This whole time we was worried about Clay, who we still need to be worried about. But meanwhile, we had Jeremy over here doing stuff on the under, okay? Oh no. Oh no. So anyway, that's crazy. I still can't believe y'all told me that. So anyway, um, she was like, "Oh, you don't want to talk about it right now." Like, what? And so she was like, "Where were you? You weren't at where you said you was at." He was like, "No, I was in the parking lot." That's like basically he tried to say him and Sarah Ann was in the parking lot talking. Jeremy, stop lying. So then she was like, "No, you weren't even over there." She was like, "Where were you?" And he's like, "There's a little alley." Now he started adding details. I knew he was lying then. He says, "Little side alley by the place, and that's where we was at." I think the bar was called Lost and Found. So then she was like, "You wasn't even on that side of town." I forgot what they called it. She said you was north of whatever side of town it was, and that's where Sarah Ann's house is, and that's why you didn't come home at 6 in the morning. And he was just sitting there staring. He didn't say nothing. I don't know why every time I watched that scene, I was cracking up, y'all, because the way Jeremy was just sitting there, because you knew he was lying. And Laura clocked him. She had all the details. She did all her investigating. Y'all let me know what y'all think about to happen with Laura and Jeremy. I mean, they probably not gonna make it. We didn't see them in the previews, in the wedding previews. So they not gonna make it, y'all. Oh, you doing a TikTok thing? You on episode 23? I gotta get on that. But I heard she deleted them or something. Well, that's what the nurse is saying. Oh, okay, Mashana, you've been watching it too. She said you can't watch it in 2 parts. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, how long is the TikToks? Y'all know I don't be on TikToks. I don't know. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check them TikToks out. Well, I'll probably just ask the nurse because I'm probably too lazy to watch all that, but we'll see. Anyway, y'all, that was it. If I missed something with Love is Blind, we did cover all the couples. Next week we will get episodes, I think 10 through 12 or 10 and 11. I don't know. And then I'm sure we'll get the reunion like the following week or something like that. So with the next episodes, we'll probably do live again. I think this is more fun than the way I previously did it. It was just fun interacting with y'all. Thank y'all for showing up and showing out to the live. Monique King, thank you. Shayna, thank you. Nikki, thank you. Oh, is it storming there, Nikki? Because they be always asking me, like, what's going on with the weather in Cali? What's going on in SoCal? And I'm like, I don't know, we good. But anyway. But yeah, y'all make sure y'all stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I don't know when I'm gonna do my review for Bold and Bougie. I saw you did a quick little short on Bold and Bougie. Shayna, do you like the show? You gonna keep it up? What you think? I still gotta watch Sisters this week too. Then we got Ready to Love tomorrow. Definitely do a Ready to Love video tomorrow. We got Love and Marriage DC Saturday. So yeah, it's getting real busy with the YouTube right now. But we keeping up. Nikki said, "No, we good." Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, I feel like I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Excuse me. All right, I knew I had to sneeze. Oh, Shayna said, "Oh, you don't got WeTV, so you can't keep up with Bold and Bougie." Oh, well, how did you watch it? They got the Philo app that's $25. But if you want to watch WeTV, I mean, Bold and Bougie really is not giving much. It's giving like old school, kind of like what you said, the early 2000s feel like. It's giving like an old school reality show, really. So it's probably not even worth it. I mean, it's not giving much new. Thank you. I was trying not to burp. Now I was trying not to sneeze. All of that. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go on to end the live because I know it's late for Shayna because she on the East Coast. Thank you for sticking with me, girl. Monique, I don't know what city you live in, girl. Nikki, you on the West Coast like me, so you good. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna end the live here. Thank y'all for stopping by. Thank you for being in the chat. For my replay gang, comment down below. Let me know what couples you see it for, who you don't see it for. Did Kenneth and Brittany surprise you? They was here on the show. Next thing you know, you turned your head, they was gone. Kenneth said he ain't being with the white girls, not him. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think of the couples. Okay. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me look at all the things here. Good night. Good night, Monique. Have a good night, girl. Good night, Shayna. Good night, Nikki. Good night, everyone. Yes, Shayna, thank you. All right, I'll talk to y'all again soon. Bye.